The boy broke off the root of a plant before he died, and put it in his mouth and tasted it, and found that it tasted pretty good. Then he tried to eat the grass on the ground, and it tasted just as good. The whole forest looked like it was made of food. Then he tentatively walked into the depths of the island. The next moment there was a sudden noise. He fixed his eyes on it. Many meerkats stood in the center of the pool. They also sensed the boy's presence. They looked up one after another. Looking at this big guy, they didn't attack. The boy didn't want each other either. Right now he just wanted a comfortable bath. After chasing these little guys away, he then jumped into the puddle without hesitation. The long-lost comfort made him take a dip. Just as he finished his bath and was ready to rest, the tiger also came over at that moment. This guy was enjoying his meal, but strangely enough, the mongooses had no intention of escaping. Seeing the tiger eating so happily, the boy smiled with relief. But at night, the meerkats suddenly began to scatter again. He was puzzled. Even the tiger ran back to the boat in a panic. It wasn't long before the meerkats came to the tree. It turned out the little ones were just trying to sleep, but then the boy realized something terrible. The puddle suddenly glowed brightly, and a lot of dead fish floated up at the same time. Even stranger, it was like they were corrupted by something. He didn't know what it meant. The tiger, on the other hand, sat quietly on the boat. Apparently it didn't dare to go near the island, because the island looked like a humanoid creature. Then, driven by curiosity, the boy picked a strange flower from a tree, and when he broke it open, there was a human tooth inside. He couldn't believe the scene in front of him. This was most likely a cannibal island. The boy knew he had to leave in a hurry. So the next morning, he brought a boat full of food, hundreds of mongooses in addition to roots. That should be enough to feed him and the tiger for a while. Ever since they left, no one has seen the island since they left. When there's no food, the tiger goes fishing, but he doesn't seem to be very good in the water. He always comes back empty-handed. The boy watched in amusement, but the next moment, the tiger suddenly swam towards him. He realized the danger and got back in the boat. They play like friends. Luckily, the boat had a net to catch fish. The boy put a little food scraps in it. Soon there was a fish on the line, but the fish was too big. The boy had a hard time keeping it under control. He had to kill it with a rock hammer. Then he cried bitterly and told the fish he didn't want to kill it, but he had to do it to survive. The problem of food was solved for now. However, he gave the whole fish to the tiger. He was afraid the tiger would eat him if he was hungry. They didn't know how long they had been drifting on the sea. One man and one tiger finally saw land. He pulled the boat ashore and the tiger got out too. The skinny tiger stretched himself first. Then he headed for the woods. The boy hoped it would stop and look at him, but for a long time, he just stared at the trees. A few hours later, a passing fisherman found him. He cried like a baby, but not because of the excitement of being rescued. It was because the tiger had left him.